we have to make this transition. We have to say, okay, I can do this, and learn how to make these kind of movements into more and more complex places and worlds that we have to do it. And I know we thought we were just going to grow up and have babies and a family and get old with a good rocking chair, you know. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think something else is going to happen that is going to blow every single person's mind on earth here. And it's a natural event. It isn't something that we're doing. This is something God is doing, nature is doing. And we're being protected through all of this. You really can not worry and just let go. And actually, if you just become like a little child and have no fear and just sort of laugh and giggle at everything, you can get through even easier. The more you think about it, the more your thoughts start going, the more scary the whole thing gets. The more you just relax and know that you are connected directly to God, and that whatever God's going to do here is in your best interest. And just trust all of this. You have to just trust it, because it's too big and it's too huge. As you get bigger and stronger, all these kinds of things will become easier, and you just have to allow yourself to begin to see things you didn't know existed. And it's okay, because you really are one with all life everywhere, more than you know, really. And yeah, we're making a big transition. Okay, this is going to be fun. Just stay in your heart, keep your breath going, and just stay balanced within yourself, and live your life, and love your family, and love those that love you, and keep your life simple. The more complex you make it, the harder everything gets. Uh, Whatever it takes to get you to the point where you are totally in your heart and in love with yourself, with Mother Earth, and all the heavens and all life everywhere. To get into these states is not easy. Just the things that we say we're doing, we're probably not really doing. A lot of this stuff, when people are doing the unity breath, which is the beginning of the opening of all this key, where they say they love Mother Earth and they love the heavens, but they're not really doing it. They're just saying the words. They're thinking the thoughts. I love Mother Earth. That's not loving Mother Earth. That's just thinking it. And so to get into the reality of all of this requires a lot of very careful meditation, so that you are really feeling and doing these things and not just thinking them. I mean, I've talked to so many people who are, working for 2 or 3 years on this, can't get anything done, and so I go over the stage little by little by little, each one, and almost always it's because they haven't done the unity breath properly. They didn't think it was important. They didn't think it was really important that they actually loved Mother Earth or they loved Father Sky. They didn't think that was anything but just words you said. It's far more than words. It has to be real. And when it's real, then another frequency comes into you. It's a frequency that people don't normally hold. And without that frequency, you can't even get into your heart. And so, again, we're moving very fast, and people usually take very long periods of time to go through some of these stages, and we're trying to do this very quickly. it doesn't really matter whether you do it or not. There are three ways that you're going to pass through to the other side. You're going to use one of those three ways. And there's a fourth way that's entering in right now that we may be able to use and we may not. I don't know if we're going to be able to get there or not in time. But there's at least three ways. And you will use one of those three ways. The first way is just to sit there and die and do nothing, just die. And it's already been set up. Everything has been set up for you. The Ascended Masters have prepared everything on every level for you. The person that dies unconsciously, you will go through a very specific level. You'll end up in the 10th overtone of the 4th dimension, where the Great White Brotherhood has certain people that are called the Brotherhood of the Seven Rays. And those people are not human, really. They're way beyond human. You're going to see them in human form because that's what you're used to at the first stages, but you're not going to see what they really look like. And they are going to help you to understand things that you can't understand. But because they have such incredible abilities, it's going to only take them about 15 minutes and you're going to be transformed. You will see and know things that, for sure, that you never thought were possible. And in doing this, that will prepare you for the next level of existence, which is the 4th dimension, which we're already in, but we're not consciously in it, and that's the point. You have to be consciously in it. And so once you get that, then you could pass into the 4th dimension and would be able to make the necessary changes once you get there, without falling back to the earth consciousness again, which could happen, but it won't happen this time. That's what's happened over the last 13,000 years. Almost every person who has gained a body, when they died, they didn't take the body with them. They just took their spirit over there, and they didn't die consciously. You must bring your body with you. You need to have your body there because they use this form to create the next body. This is a baby there. And so the other way is resurrection, which Jesus showed us. But because of things that happened 200 years and 300 years after he lived, the original information that he gave you to learn how to do that was thrown away. And so you are not given the information of how to use resurrection. Though there will be those that will figure it out anyway. And there will be those that use that method to go on. But I don't think it's going to be as many as they think it is, because they threw away all the secret knowledge and of exactly how to do it. And so, but basically, the body is an image inside of your heart. And if you know that, when you die, you can recreate that image when you reach the 4th dimension and you bring your body with you. We're doing it a slightly different way. This is where you know a certain amount of information greater than what is necessary to go through resurrection. You have to know a lot more and be able to step through into the 4th dimension consciously while you're alive. You don't die. You just make the transition over. It's a matter of seconds, and you're there. And if you do that, that is another possibility of getting in there. And then there's this 4th way that may be possible later, which is even easier. Okay, so there's 4 possibilities maybe, one of them I'm not sure about. But all life on Earth right now is going to choose one of those 4 ways. And no matter what happens, they're going to be fine. Spirit cannot die, ever. You have been alive since the beginning of the creation of this universe, and you will be alive long after this universe is dissolved away. You just don't remember, but you already are immortal. you can't die right now. Nobody can. Even if you held an atomic bomb in your hand and let it off, it wouldn't have any effect on your spirit at all. And so, we're going to use these different ways, but when we get to the other side, we're all going to be recombined back together once we reach this certain spot, and we'll continue as one humanity after that. And so it isn't about you have to do this. You don't have to make it through in this particular way or any of the particular ways. You can just let death take its course, and it'll work just as well. And so don't take anything as an absolute, that if you don't do this, somehow you're going to be lost forever. That just isn't true. You're going to be fine no matter what happens, but you got to do the best you can. If you can do it, do it. It will be to your advantage, because you will gain information. Things will be able to be easier and smoother for you as you evolve. And so if you can do this, do it. But do it from the heart of a child. That is the most powerful way you can do it. No fear. No fear at all. There's nothing that's going to harm you. There's nothing that can hurt you. Death doesn't make any difference. Nothing makes any difference. The only thing that makes any difference is the acts of beauty and kindness and things that you do for people and for yourself and your families. Your love makes a difference. That does. It makes everything come congeal closer into this oneness that we're trying to reach. Don't give up on life, but don't worry about death. There's no problem here. The invisible part of life that you don't see right now, which is almost everything, is holding you very close, each one of you, and making sure that you don't make any real bad mistakes, and making sure that you understand the steps that you're going, because every time you make one of these steps through to the other side, it's very important. But for the people that are going in and are getting afraid of what's going on, they really need to connect closer to their higher self and to understand that why they're going through that fear, because they shouldn't be. There's no reason for fear in this process at all, because there is nothing in this process that can harm you. The process itself is not going to harm you, and no matter what happens on any level, your spirit is not going to be seriously harmed in any way at all. At this point, each person has a higher self that is assigned to them, and that higher self can see much bigger picture than what we normally think, and we don't see any problems in what is happening. But a person could still get into fear. And all I can say is you've got to find a way out of that. You might read the Emerald Tablets again, if you haven't read them. It's all talking about this very process that we are in right now. And it also tells you what to do exactly when you go into fear. There's a certain process that is ancient, that has been used for a very, very long time, where you develop these rings around your body, and you have these rings going up and down your body. You find out, first of all, if the fear is within you or if it's outside of you. And depending on what the answer is, you then proceed in a certain way. And by doing that, you can totally step outside of fear and proceed on. The Emerald Tablets, you can buy them almost anywhere. We can't escape this. There's nowhere to go. We are everything, and we did this. We created this. So, if you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at yourself. But it's beautiful, and it's amazing what has been created. It is absolutely incredible, and so I think it's a good thing for you to become everything and understand what it is before we go out and become something even bigger, because that's where this leads to. We are going to go beyond this universe into something even bigger. I can't help it. This is what's happening. And sure, it would be nice to make little baby steps where we could just become the planet and then stay at the planet for a few 100 million years and then maybe become the solar system, that kind of thought. But evidently, God has something else in mind.